Hi, this is Jared R. Trust with the Young Person's Guide to Having It All. This is Chapter 13. This is 13.4. And this is the last subchapter available for Chapter 13. And Chapter 13 is the final chapter for the Young Person's Guide to Having It All. If you've been there with me throughout this entire audiobook, first of all, wow, that's gnarly. Second of all, just kidding. Thanks. And it's good to listen to things again. They say when you listen to something 3 times, and not just listen to it all the way through, but really take it slowly, listen to it part by part, that after 3 times, you will have retained that information for a lifetime. So, after 3 times, even if you leave this on while you're taking a nap, you might wake up and be a genius. Or at least be a brilliant marketer and web designer and business person. At least that is my hope. But anyway, excuse my rant, that is the last one. I think there's worse rants. But, as has been the overall points and general idea of this entire chapter, I worked at Sammy's Camera, and about 5 years ago I was working in the big LA Sammy's Camera, and Ryan Gosling walks in, and I somehow, of course, end up being his salesperson, and I'm talking to him about German-made cameras, which he does buy one from me. Thank you very much. But I had a conversation with him, and during that time, that was the second time I'd come to LA in search of purpose and success, fame, fortune, you know, the plethora of things we all want and work our entire lives to hopefully obtain. And I asked him something. I said, after I had made the sale, I asked him, I said, Ryan, if you got a minute, I just have one question, if you don't mind. I'm down here. I'm a filmmaker. I'm trying to make it. What's the best way to make it? If you were me, knowing what you know, what would you do from where I'm at moving forward? He said, and I'll always remember it, and I've been lucky enough to be able to share it with some other like-minded people, and I hope they took it to heart, as I hope you do as well, as I have. He said to me, no one else is going to care as much as you do. Nobody else is going to do it for you, or make it for you, or get you to where you want to be. No one's going to give it to you. You got to do it yourself. And for some people, 10, 20 years goes by of them searching for someone else. And this is actually the theme, not to ruin it, the theme of La La Land, which stars Ryan Gosling. Which, that's funny. But he said, do it yourself. Don't look for anyone. Don't wait for anyone. Don't try and start up some kind of relationship with someone because you think they're going to give you what you want. The only way it's going to happen is by you doing it. If you don't, if you just say, someday I'm going to meet somebody, someday I'm going to meet somebody, you're taking a vacation to Someday Isle. Get it? Someday Isle. And if you go to Someday Isle, you may never come back. That's what we all do. Someday, someday, someday. Someday someone will come. Stop it. If you don't do it now, if you're not willing to drop everything and work on your goals right now, or in your free time, if you're not willing to do that, you may never do it. With that advice, I decided to take some time off. I left Sammy's Camera. I moved back to Santa Barbara, And I said, that was good advice. And because it came from Ryan Gosling, I said it must be right. Because he's been in the industry since he was a little kid. I went to Santa Barbara, and I started making a feature film, which was a gigantic feat. It's rarely been done, maybe one or two other times, ever. I posted that on Craigslist, got together 30 free actors. I got together a group of like-minded people who believed in my dream, and we made a film. A good film. You can watch the teaser and the trailer on my YouTube channel. It's called The Dreamer. So it is possible. I've tested it. I went to Sammy's camera. I saved my money for 2 months, and I bought a DSLR, a Canon Rebel, and the lenses and all the equipment I need. Me and a film cinematographer named Taylor, and an assortment of great actors, local from Santa Barbara, from Craigslist. I made a feature film. I shot at beautiful locations, and all I had to do was ask. All I had to do was get on a boat and leave Someday Isle. You gotta get off Someday Isle. And you just gotta do it. If you're not willing to, next time you have 5-10 minutes free, instead of reading a book or going on a walk or calling a friend, if you're not able to spend even a few minutes or begin something towards the future that you want, then how are you ever going to do it? How are you ever going to get there? Like that movie Selena, and I love this example. She's up on this ride, and she jumps, and it's a free fall. And what that signifies is it's scary, it is frightening, it's terrifying. But to get there, you gotta jump. No one can jump for you and then say, okay, I made it, come down. You gotta jump yourself. You gotta make sacrifices, sleepless nights, sacrifices, giving up love, giving up relationships, giving up even your health for a period of time, so the focus can be solely on making progress, taking action. Get off Someday Isle. I know all of us take a vacation, some long, some short, to Someday Isle at some point. The ones that really make it big, they got off a long time ago. Some of them never went. Sometimes it's because of the circumstance that they dealt with that made them have an appreciation. For some, there was no other option. This is desperation that leads us to have to make it. But if you're stable, if you have the family and the support and the friends, it can be even harder for you, because you've got to step away, even temporarily, from these comfort things. You got to say, peace out for a little bit, family. I can't hang out and go out for drinks tonight, friends. I need an extra day off work, even though I need the money, because I need that day for my dream, for my future, for my projects. I tried the not pursuing it thing, but I got sad. I got a little depressed. I was making $2,000 every 2 weeks, and it was easy and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't what I was passionate about. So the money, maybe at first is great, but then you're there, and even though you're making great money, it's just not enough. So you got to do it. You got to do it. If George Washington didn't cross that cold-ass, icy river to go to war, to go fight, to go lose his life, and float down the river an hour later, he took that chance, that risk, because of what he saw, what he dreamed. And that's America. And if he didn't do that, if he stayed back on the British Someday Isle, we wouldn't be living in a free country, and you wouldn't be able to pursue your dream in the first place. There have been sacrifices made for you to be able to do this. So do it. And if you can't do it right now, when are you going to do it? Do it now. While you can. While you're inspired. And if you forgot what your dream was, if you've been focusing on something else for so long, you don't even have a dream anymore, it's still there. Find it. Go for it. Jump. Because it's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. And that is the best advice I could give from a young person. That's the Young Person's Guide to Having It All. Thank you. This is Jared R. Trust, the author, and God bless America. Alright. This audiobook is a production of American Info.